to Knitography. I'm Patricia, and I'm coming to you from the middle of Norway. I hope you've been well since my last vlog. I want to begin there by saying thank you to everyone that watched my knitting journey of the rusty cardigan and then went to my project page to participate in the giveaway, sponsored by Claire of the Woolly Thistle. At the end of this vlog, I'll be drawing the winner of that prize, and I really look forward to sharing that with everyone. And I thank Claire very much for sponsoring that vlog last time. So I have a little technology problem that I want to share with you at the beginning. I took a trip to the Tautra Islands and videoed there and had my vlog from there and checked my sound and everything. And then when I came home, most of the video that I took was not recorded. And I found out that my phone is just not going to be able to keep up with my wanting to share these vlogs with you. So now I have an iPad, and I'm learning to use it. The camera is not in the same position, so I want to just tell you right from the start, if I look away from the camera, I hope you'll have some understanding until I get used to how this iPad video works. I also hope that I maintain the sound because I don't have any sort of microphone, so I'll just be doing the best I can with this vlog, and I hope you enjoy some of the content. So I went back to Tautra, which is almost a 2-hour drive, and I didn't have the opportunity to sit there and to record again from Tautra and re-record the whole vlog, but I did go back on a little adventure just to capture some of the video on a different day to share with you, because it's very important to me to continue the history from the Selbuvotter book. And if you have the book, on page 77 within the book is where the Tautra Island is mentioned, and the Maria Monastery, where the first Grå Trøndersau, or the Grå Trondheim region sheep, were first bred, and that is one of the main sheep breeds that are connected to the Selbuvotter. So it was just very important for me that you could see those ruins and see a little bit of that beautiful island. When you travel to Tautra, as I say, it's in a different region from Trøndelag, where I live. It's in North Trøndelag. So you travel there, and you must cross over the fjord with a long bridge, and you go through this sort of gate work that opens and closes to let people come in. And then you reach this little island. Now, part of the island is a monastery where they make all sorts of beautiful products that people can, the nuns there make all of these beautiful products. And this is one of my favorite products. This is a balm. It's very pepperminty and or spearminty, and I have to look to see. It's all natural ingredients, but it has lavender and all these different flowers, rose hip, and these nuns make this balm. And if you're in America, it's kind of like a Ben Gay cream, and if you're in Norway, it's kind of like a tigerbalsam. And what it does is just soothes aching muscles, or if you have a cold, it's kind of like Vicks salve. Also, I swear by this. If I'm not feeling well with the flu, I put this on the bottom of my feet with socks. And so they make all sorts of beautiful creams for your face out of cucumbers, and you're not really allowed to film there, but you can research it also online and kind of see the nunnery, and they have a beautiful gardens with vines and of cucumber vines and all sorts of vines. And they make all these beautiful products. Well, luckily, they do sell the products in the city. But during the summer, I often go there just because it's beautiful beaches, and that's where the earliest spring is in my area. And we go there several times during the summer to get strawberries and fresh vegetables. And yeah, I'll go again during the summer and take some video. But really, I just wanted to take you there to see the 13th century monastery ruins so that we could connect that history to the Selbuvotter. So anyway, you go on the island and over the bridge, and there's like a roundabout. And so one way goes to the nunnery where they sell all the products and the nuns live. And then you go the other direction to this beautiful ruin area where there's also a farm, and they produce all of this summer beer, and they produce lots of chutneys and things like that from things that they grow right on the farm. They have goats there, and they produce goats cheese, and I buy lots of their products in the summer. So at the end of this vlog, I'll just put in some video of the fields, and I took a little video over the bridge. Of course, I'll speed that up, but it wasn't as nice a day as the first day, so I regret that. But I did go back again and had a lovely day, but it was cloudy and rainy, and yeah, not as nice as the first time round. But I'll go again and take video for a vlog, and on a summer's day when we go to collect our vegetables. So Tautra is, as I say, an island in the Trondheim Fjord, which is north of where the city of Trondheim and where I live. So anyway, I did my best. Technology is not my friend, and I'll do my best with the technology just to keep sharing and keep telling stories. Hopefully I'll be able to get a camera that I can use, and well, we'll see how this iPad works. So I just want to start off with some finished objects since my rusty cardigan. And after I finished my rusty cardigan, I decided that I really needed to finish something. And this 100-acre wood shawl had been languishing. I'm going to tell you the reason why. But I actually finished this. And this was a kit that Little Skein in the Big Wool put out with Helen Curious Handmade. I can't remember her last name. But I wanted the kit so much. I think it was Western Sky Yarns or whatever. And it's exactly these colors. These exact colors. But of course, as I've told many times before, I'm not able really to have things like that brought into Norway, because by the time I pay for the item that I want and then I pay the shipping, then it's a 50% tax if you go over the very small limit that we get. So even that the limit was raised, I think last year, it still doesn't meet kits. So what I did is I went to the yarn store, and I chose a baby alpaca blend. There's a little bit of wool in this, but mostly alpaca. And I just picked out all of the colors, not nearly as tonal as the original kit, but I was just so attracted to these colors. Now, I really enjoyed beginning this shawl, and this is not the way the pattern works. What I did is I just started the color, whatever I was using, and then I used it up within the pattern, and then I just kept going and going, and I followed the pattern, the lace and the stitch work, but I did not follow the coloring. So that is modified. But I have to tell you, when I got down to about here, I just, there's like 500 stitches. I did the large shawl, and I just got so tired. Long, long rows were just, I lost my motivation, and so I put this aside. And then what happened was, when I got to the stitch work, again, in this portion, I just couldn't do it anymore. So what I did is I just modified everything from this yarn over here. I just made this up and did not finish the pattern at all, and just put the picot bind off all. Now what's interesting is, of course, when you start at the beginning and you have lots of, I used it all, and I used it all, and I used it all, and the longer the rows are, I used every bit of yarn, but you just get less and less because the rows are so long. But I have to say that now that I'm done, I'm so glad I finished, because I absolutely love this shawl. I love it so much. I love the colors. I love the way it wears. I love that it wraps around and I can tie it. I do recommend this pattern, but you have to, really, it's some beautiful stitches. You have this lace work, and it's some beautiful stitches, and I'm really sad because, of course, I think this stitch work should have gone longer, but I just got tired and fed up, and yeah, so that's sad, because I really wish that I had more patience. Maybe the smaller shawl, I would have been able to finish it, but you can't really tell from my shawl from the original. But anyway, this is the 100 Acre Wood. Of course, that's the Winnie the Pooh story, and A.A. Milne. And I have to say, I have actually been to the 100 Acre Wood, and I have actually walked through the wood. I met the grandchildren of the original A.A. Milne, and I bought some beautiful toys there. I should bring them out. They're all handmade. I got them when my daughter was born, because I actually lived in a suburb of London. And I traveled there. I had high tea there. And so, yeah, Winnie the Pooh is a favorite of mine. All of his sayings and everything. So that was another reason I really wanted to knit this shawl. And I think this is meant to look like the honeybees. So I really do recommend this pattern, and I love it, but I got tired and wasn't able to finish it. So right after my rusty cardigan, I finished this beautiful shawl in the original colors, but I had to use Norwegian wool, baby alpaca, and a little bit of wool blend. It's super soft. Now, some people, I guess, think alpaca is a little bit scratchy. It is toothy, but I love it. It's super soft. Love that shawl. And then I cast on right away my butterfly friendship shawl by Anna Freeberg, which is now Yarnesty. She used to be Anna Alpaca, but she's lives in Sweden, and I wanted to join her knit along and knit her shawl, which was photographed by Pia Kammerborn, also from Sweden, and has the beautiful podcast that I watch. But this shawl, I loved knitting this shawl. It was just a week it took me to knit it. And I just have to say, I really can't tell you how the pattern works because it's a paid for pattern, but I just want to say, clever, 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 clever garter tab. This is a very, special shape. There's a triangle here, but it goes out, and this one just smells like lavender because I just blocked it and finished it. But what's really fun is that once you get this really unique garter tab going, and you don't, this is so intuitive. Let me make sure I'm on the front. Yeah, I didn't really have to look at this pattern. It's in different charts, so it's just mindless. And the only time I really had to start focusing and I followed the chart was for the butterfly edging, and you see so beautifully the butterflies on the edge. So clever, so clever. Now, I wanted to play with color, and I know that lace, from Shetland lace, from studying the history of Shetland lace, that you're always going to get a motif to show up better in the lightest color possible. So I decided everything is as the pattern is written, all the way but to here. And then I started playing with color a bit because I wanted these butterflies to really show. And then here I just decided to do a striping because I love stripes, and I just thought that would be so beautiful. And then this edging, the most clever cast off I think I've ever done. Not something I've done before. There's many techniques in this shawl that are simply interesting and fun, and it's huge. This shawl is just huge. Now, I used 100% organic wool from BC Garn, which I think is a Danish wool, and I got it locally. I actually have my leftovers here because I want to talk a little bit about this yarn. If you ever have the chance to use it, it's very special. I have lots of leftovers. I actually have some on my desk, but this is the wool that I used. It's BC Garn Samilia. It's 100% organic. It is from Denmark. But the interesting thing is, I don't know, yeah, you can see, it's got this very interesting twist on it. So it has a very special twist. And then what I loved about it is it just springs. It's like a little spring. And it's 100% organic wool. And I think that using this wool for this shawl, not only is it amazingly soft, it's stunningly soft, but it just shows the texture brilliantly. Just shows the texture of all the stitches and everything. Yeah, there's just a really beautiful texture. And you see the lace is also little butterflies. So this is the Butterfly Friendship Shawl, and I love this story. I think this story is that Anna's friend asked her if she would knit her a shawl. I don't think she was a knitter. And so instead of just knitting any old shawl, she decided to design a shawl just for her friend. And I just think that is a beautiful story. So I wanted to draw, I finished another knit along. I can't believe it. So I finished the 100 Acre Wood Shawl, and I finished the Butterfly Friendship Shawl since my Rusty Cardigan. And those are my two finished objects. And then I just got Me Made May got me to wanting to get some sewing. I opened up my studio and I wanted to get some sewing going. So I went up to my studio and I started, I went to get some this beautiful fabric. and I made myself a skirt. And I put this beautiful ribbon on the edge. Now this, it still needs one of those, you know, hook and eyes, I think my mom called it. So right at the top here, I've got to go back and buy a hook and eye. But I learned to put in an invisible zipper. So that was so clever and so fun. And I learned to put that in. And the skirt was way too big when I first did it. And I just thought, oh, I'll never wear it out in public. It's okay, blah, blah, blah. And then my mom got kind of, you know, got on to me and told me to go back. And what I did is I opened up this seam and I took off, I think I took off like 4 inches on each side. And I'm so happy with it now. I haven't worn it out yet, but I'm going to, because I wanted to finish my butterfly shawl because I think it just will match it so beautifully. So I'm going to wear these together somehow. But I made this skirt, and then I traveled to Oslo, and I wanted to make another skirt. Now this one I did a little differently because in this one there's no stability in the band. I just put this ribbon on to give some stability at the waist. But this time I just put in some elastic in the band. And on this one, it's not that nice. I mean, I put the seeing, you know, because I know that's kind of vintage. I put this, yeah, the one you can see. Yeah, it was okay. I wore it to Oslo. I really enjoyed wearing it. It's also a little bit too big, but it looks more... yeah, it looks more vintage, I think, when it's a little bit more flared. And I had some leftover fabric, and I decided to make a little project bag, so I did. And I learned to put in a zipper here with this little tab, and I lined it with this this wool lining that's so beautiful. And I made myself a little project bag with a stitch marker from my friend Christine, and I put a little bow at the end, and I took that also on my trip to Oslo with some socks in it that I'm going to show you. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I'm not a fan of making project bags, so I really admire people that do it. I think it was really fiddly and hard. So somebody asked me about a pattern, and I didn't really have a pattern for my skirt. So I don't know if you know about this, because I actually didn't know about this until I moved to Norway. But this is pattern paper. And it's just like maths paper in a way. And this is like one, let's see, is this one? This one I think is a centimeter. So anyway, what I did is I laid a skirt down and I simply drew the pattern of the skirt. I drew the, you know, the different pieces, and then I cut them in half. Like I did a front panel, and I did no, I did a back panel, and I did 2 front panels. I did a front and a back, and then I cut it in half. So I did it like that. So I made my own pattern, and I simply did a, you know, just a regular strip, like when I do quilting for this. And then when you put all the pieces together to make the thing, I took a basting seam around, and then I gathered it all up, and then I put it on the waistband. So then I got a little bit inspired because I want to make a dress. I want to make my first dress, and so I went back and I got this kind of Indian vibe or Morocco vibe that I'm gonna, and I got 3 meters of this, so I'm gonna try to make a little dress out of that next as soon as I can. So yeah, sometimes, not very often, I get into the mood to do a little bit of sewing, and yeah, so I was in the mood last weekend to do sewing, and so I did that. So some of the projects that I have on the go are my my sea change cardigan, and I thought I'd share a little bit of that. I'm knitting this along with Claire from New Hampshire Knits, and also Sarah of Fiber Track, and a few other of my friends I hope are going to knit it. But this is the sea change cardigan, and yeah, sea change. And I bought this pattern on Ravelry, and I decided to use the Norwegian Pelsull garn from that you find in Norway. And this is a really soft lamb's wool, and it's the curls of the lamb that they use. I mean, this is 100% wool, super, super, super soft. Absolutely love this. I mean, it is so soft, and I'm doing it in the sort of tyttebær or wild cranberry red, and the natural gray. I have to find it. Yes. And this Norwegian Pelsull is one of my favorites. I mean, I love Rømeull, but this one for garments is, yeah, I always choose this. Now, I ordered this right from the factory, which you can do, and they've changed the name to Tinde. And yeah, this one has been, this is a very historical, they've been in business a very long time. So I love this one. And yeah, beautiful wool. And I haven't made a lot of progress because I'm still on my sleeves, but I have finished one sleeve, and I have it holding on my lovely tool that my mom gave me. This is a clover holder. I think you can just see how soft that is. It's got a beautiful halo. I love this red. And I almost have finished the second sleeve. I'm knitting these on a magic loop on my Chiagus, which is really the only needle that I use. I do have carbons and things like that, but Chiagu is my favorite. And yeah, I'm going to be casting on the body very soon. And let's see. And I have to say, with one skein of this, I'm just at this much, I've knit 2 sleeves. So there's quite a lot of yardage in this. I was going to look to see how much yardage there was. Yeah, 260 meters per 100 grams. So, yeah, I've almost knit 2 sleeves in one of these hanks. I have this much to go, and still a bit more sleeve to go. I really, really love that yarn. So, I went, let's see, what else do I have on the go? Yes, I have a Marius Genser, and you might have seen on my Instagram that I knit this one. I haven't ever showed this, so I thought I would show it. I knit this one for my son for his confirmation. And there's stuff all over it. And you see I put the traditional buttons on, the Selbu star. And I steeked this one on the sleeves. This was my let's see, this was my 3rd sleeve steek. And steeked it down the front. And I thought I'd show you inside how that works. But this is my sleeve steek. And you have this beautiful edging that protects all the, yeah. So this is my son's, and I'm knitting the exact, I'm knitting a girl's version with a round yoke for my daughter. And I've made a lot of progress with that. Yeah, I'm on this part. I haven't started the sleeves, which is a no-no. I really should have started with the sleeves, but I'm using a very traditional wool. This is 100% Norwegian wool called Peer Gynt. And this is I really enjoy knitting with this one. And again, it's black and white and red. And I started this when it was darker, but now I can knit it because it's summertime. And my wish is that I'm going to have my kids take their pictures in this. But this is the most iconic Marius pattern, traditional Norwegian pattern in Norway. And so I'm working on that sometimes. I'm working on my sea change cardigan. And I took my scrappy sock to Oslo with me. And this is my, and what is this yarn? This is my opal. Yeah, these are all my opal colors that my friend Monique inspires me to knit these scrappy socks. So I took this one to Oslo, and now all I have to do is decrease for the toe. I'm actually knitting these on Knit Pro Zings, the 2 millimeters. That's my size. I like the really tight fabric of 2 millimeters. So I took those to Oslo. I didn't take all the skeins, I just took one. And the other sock that I'm working on is my daughter's, no, I'm not sure. This is opal garn. I'm not sure the other one. It'll come to me. My scrappy socks are not opal garn because this is my first opal. But I have turned the heel. I've done the heel flap, and I've turned the heel, and now I just need to pick up for the gusset. So yeah, still working on those. This is opal, and I have to think what my scrappy socks are. I can't remember that yarn, but it's something I can buy in Norway. What is it called? It starts with an R. Have to think of it. So I'm working on those socks. Working on that. So I went to Oslo, and I went to the famous Pickle Girl shop. This was their brick and mortar shop. And I wanted to knit a sweater, which I will show you. And I'm going to do it in this Pickles Merino tweed, which is 100%, they're 100% wool, but it's tweedy. So it has little specks of color. These match. And I'm also going to use this orange and the yellow. So I'm using all of these colors. And what happened is when I was there, I forgot the green color in the pattern, because I am going to be knitting from the Lane magazine, which I got from Gulsam Öl. I'm going to be knitting this one, the Birken. And this is knit out of Loft, and I feel like I've knit with Loft once before, and this wool matches, but I forgot the green color when I was there, so I had to order that. So I'm just waiting for this green to come, and I'm going to do this flower in the turquoise. I'm going to do the yellow flower as it is, and the green as it is, and this bit is going to be in orange. So those are my colors, and then this this color that matches the turquoise, this kind of gray color for the body. So as soon as my green comes, I'll be casting that on. Yeah, and I got it I got the Lane magazine, Lan magazine, which is French, knitting in French, I think. or wool. No, it's wool in French. Goût som ull. So yeah, Christine sent that to me. So that's where I get my Lamb magazine. So working on my socks and working on the Maurice-Genzer sea change, I have some plans for the future. And the other thing is I got my woolly thistle bag, which I'm so excited about, which is also here. I got my woolly thistle bag from Claire. I'm not able really to order wool from Claire because of taxes, but this woolly thistle bag, my favorite shop, I got that in. And she also sent me a pin, which I have. I'll try to find that. A beautiful little thistle pin, which I'll put on my bag and carry my projects in. So I can be close to, yeah, here's my pin. Here's my little thistle pin, which I'll put on the bag. I love that. And I'll attach that to my bag. And even if I can't order the yarn to be sent to me, I can carry some projects in my favorite woolly thistle bag. The other thing that I got besides my yarn from Pickles, of course, is my, and I shared this on Instagram, is my Nestapina from Fox and the Sheep. And she took the little photograph that I shared on Instagram of the little lamb, Grå Trøndersau, when I was doing my lambing vlog. And she created this Nestapina for me, and also she did a watercolor painting for me. And I've just been waiting to share this with you so that I could put that in a little frame for my studio desk. So isn't that beautiful? And I'm so excited to wind my yarn on it. I haven't wound any yarn since I got it, but I'm planning on winding my next nesta of the sea change cardigan on here. So there's my little Grå Trøndersau lamb that Nina made. And if you haven't visited the Fox and the Sheep, Nina is making all of her Nestapina by hand. She chops the wood, she does all the carving, all the painting, all the designing, and I just wanted to sponsor that. Not only is it beautiful handcrafted work, but just the idea of bringing back the slow, beautiful rhythm of winding your own yarn. I'm just so proud of that. I think that's a beautiful thing that we should be doing. I mean, it's so easy to go over to my ball winder, but, you know, part of it is, you know, winding your own yarn and then beginning the knitting. So I think that is, I did show you my finished objects and my sewing and all of that, but I wanted to tell you a little, one thing I want to show you was my very first kofta. I did not knit this kofta, but this is also this was for the birthday of Trondheim. This is a Selbu from the Selbu, the machine knitting of the Selbu. And this was for the 1,000-year birthday celebration of the city of Trondheim when I got this kofta. This is a beautiful traditional kofta with, the buttons from the birthday celebration. This is the official kofta of the 1,000 years of Trondheim. And this happened, I can't remember, I think it was 1990, maybe 96, 97, 98, something like that, when I first came here. So this is a treasure. I take very good care of it. I only wear it on special occasions. I thought you might like to see, this is my very first kofta, which was machine knit, before I could knit myself. So I wanted to tell you the story of the 17th of May brooch, which is called the brooch of hope. And I wanted to show it really up close to you and to tell you that in this brooch is a button that has been taken off of a garment that's been thrown away. And then here you see a tea light that has been crushed down. And on the back here, this is a little pin, but on the back here is the inside of one of those coffee capsules. And these brooches are made at the Mission, much like the orange scarf, except this project, the Brooch of Hope, is made in a place called the Arbeidsrum, which is the working room. And this is a beautiful room in the Mission that provides work for refugees, because they're flyktingar. They're people that have escaped war or violence or danger. And oftentimes, you know, when they come into these countries, and you will see it in our city also, they sit and they beg for small change from passers-by. So the Mission opened up this Arbeidsrum, and if you see, what they do is they take all of these recycled bits and they punch holes here, and then they do this crochet to make this brooch of hope. And then they offer jobs. They teach the people, the women, that instead of begging for money, they give them these jobs, and then they sell these so that they don't have to be on the street begging for small change from people. So this is a project of work, and this isn't the only project, because they make lots of things. They make cards, they make the glass angels that I showed you, they make blankets, they learn to do knitting and crochet, and they make blankets. So there's lots of work there, but this one is a beautiful project that many people buy on. As a matter of fact, they were sold out, so that's wonderful. That they make for our National Day, which we just had. And then, you know, I always wear this a week or two before the National Day, and people ask me about it, and I can tell the story of hope. And then, of course, they want to buy one, and then I can help connect them and sell these to provide a wage for those people that work in the Arbeidsrum, or the working room, so that they don't have to sit and beg. So this is another story like the orange scarf, and I just think it's beautiful. This is another project like the orange scarf that happens in my city to give dignity and humanity to those people within our city, so that they don't have to beg, and they can provide for their children and their families and for themselves. I think that is all of the knitting and the stories that I wanted to share with you. The only other thing that I've been doing is we have been cutting down trees in the forest that we have the right to cut down, and hauling those and chopping those and loading up our wood room, the wood storage, which is just behind me here for the winter, because in the summer when the snow goes away, that's the next project that you have to do, is to get the wood ready, because we don't have any other heating outside of wood in our home. And the other thing I've been doing is getting all of my lettuce and my pumpkins and my peppers and cucumbers and tomatoes and all of those things going in the barn. So I've been doing lots of planting and lots of gardening. But I hope you enjoy the video of the Tautra Island. And I do apologize that it's not as extensive this time as I'd hoped, because of the failure of my technology. But anyway, you'll get to see the ruins from the 13th century and the monastery where the Grå Trøndersau sheep were raised and bred there with a Gammel Norsk sow, the old Norwegian sheep, and a Spanish merino. They were bred there on the monastery to create this new breed of sheep that is also protected in Norway, called the Grå Trøndersau, or the Grå Trondheim region sheep, which is the sheep that I'm hoping to have on my little farm, and the sheep that I have shorn and worked together as an intern to make the second batch of my own wool this year. I have put in the random number generator on my telephone. There were 39 people interested in winning the giveaway and also giving feedback for the Rusty Cardigan Journey vlog, and I really appreciate that. I enjoyed reading all of those entries, and yeah, I got a few tips myself. The winner was number 18. You see number 18? And when I go to the project page, that is, let me see who that is. That is Knit Nest on Instagram, and her name is Nessie. And she says, "What a beautiful cardigan. Thank you for sharing your experience knitting this cardigan. I've been thinking of knitting the pattern with Plutolopi, yay, but I've been a little intimidated. Your tips about handling the yarn and casting on are helpful. Also the bit about not being too stressed." Indeed, Nessie. I hope that you will use the Plutolopi now that you've won the prize, and you will enjoy knitting it and tag me so that I can follow your progress. So that was very exciting. And once again, I just thank Claire. It was just an honor for my vlog to be sponsored by someone for such a beautiful and generous prize. So I want to thank everyone for joining me. This was a little bit more traditional vlog since I was sitting here mostly talking about my knitting and my sewing. But I really did enjoy my adventure to Tautra. It was amazing to see that 13th century monastery ruin area, and just being in the middle of the fjord on that island. One of the things I didn't say was that Tautra is a protected area. This is one of the reasons why you can't drive all the way around the island, because it is an island that you could drive around. But it has some very, very special bird life. And so many bird watchers, pilgrimage there to observe all this very famous bird life. So part of the island is cut off. If you look at the map, the front of it is the ruins of the monastery, the farm where they produce all of this, special products and vegetables and summer beers and things like that. And then the other is the other part of it is the working monastery, where all the nuns are now creating these products that they sell to survive. But it's a fascinating place. And I love going there in the summer for a picnic or a little, my kids love to swim there. So it's a beautiful part of the Trondheim region. But really a protected area for the birds. I hope until I see you in the next vlog that you will continue to tag me if you're knitting Selbuvotter or anything you're knitting. Really, I would love for you to contact me on Instagram if you have any questions, or if I can support you in any way. And until then, I look forward to the next time we're together having a chat about knitting. And it's just a few more weeks until summer, so I'm counting down to that, and everything's turning green and getting warmer here in Norway. So until next time, friends, enjoy this time of year, this beautiful time of warmth and green. I'll see you next time.